Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, and I am making this video as a public service announcement. We've all had situations where we kind of like semi-follow a series. We're not like way into the series, but we kind of stay up to date with it in case something really big happens. We all have series like that. Attack on Titan is like that for me. I watched the anime, really enjoyed it, but after that ended, I kind of really haven't been following the manga too closely. But as any fan of Attack on Titan knows, it's like the one big mystery ever since like the first episode is, what the fuck is in Aaron's basement? Okay, I'm gonna go away for a few months or years or decades. You check back to me when we find out what the hell's in Aaron's basement, then maybe I'll get back into the series again. Okay, well, we just found out what was in Aaron's basement, okay? So, I'm making this video just to like, here's what's in his basement, I'll tell you what's there, and then you can get all excited and maybe get back into the manga, or possibly Season 2. Did we ever get a date on Season 2? I thought that there was like a trailer or something released for it like a year or so ago, but we just never found out. Is that happening or what? Okay, so, last chance. Spoilers out the ass. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds, okay, for you to go and turn this video off if you don't want to hear what's in his basement, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, skip a few, 5. All right, what is in Eren Yeager's basement is books. There you go, books. Yeah, they go down there into the basement. The basement itself is just a normal, like, doctor's office. That's all it is Grisha Yeager's doctor's office, okay? In fact, the key that he gave, that Eren got, doesn't actually open the door to the basement itself, okay? Levy just kicks the fucking thing down, because, you know, he don't give a fuck. But, yeah, you go in there, and it turns out that the key is actually for like a desk. Like Grisha like hid this extremely well. So it's like normal doctor's office, and then on his desk there's like a keyhole on like the side of the desk. Like we're doing some, you know, National Treasure 2 Book of Secrets shit here. Except Eren is Nicolas Cage. Yeah, okay, we can go with that. Yeah, so he opens this hidden drawer, and what's inside the drawer is nothing. It's a fake drawer. It's like a decoy. It's like a false bottom you gotta take out. So Grisha he went to explicit means to make sure that this was hidden from not just his family, but I guess anybody that might want to, like, break in, like the government, like the military police break in and try to snoop around his lab. Which makes sense, really, because what happens if Eren ever got curious one day about what's in the basement and he managed to sneak in somehow? Because all that was on there was just like a lock. So in case he ever actually snuck into the basement, it's just like, oh, it's just my doctor's office. I had to make sure that there was, you kids didn't get into my medicine or whatever. So he was clearly thinking about this very intently. But after you open the drawer with the key and remove the false bottom, there are 3 books inside the drawer. Now, we don't know the full contents of these books. We know what they're generally going to be about, and that's like the big shocker moment. Well, we don't know exactly what's in the books. But all we know so far is that the group opens up one book, and there is an interesting slip of paper inside of the first, you know, the inside the cover of the book when they open it up. And this interesting piece of paper has a drawing on it, except the drawing is like really, really detailed, sort of like a photograph or something. Yeah, it's a photograph in the world of Attack on Titan where cameras don't exist. So the photograph itself is of Grisha when he was much younger, along with another woman and a son, an infant son or child. I don't know if we know the gender, but it's a child, okay? So we have an image of very young Grisha, unknown girl, and a child, and they're all dressed in very luxurious clothing. They're not like, you know, peasants or anything. They're living, you know, decently nice lifestyles here. And on the back of this photograph, Grisha actually explains to whoever finds this. I know he was probably expecting someone to find this, because he actually laid out in these books, like, what's going on here. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was actually leaving this out for Eren to find, you know, and set this up, because he writes right on the back of the photograph, you know, this is not a portrait, this is not a drawing, and he actually has to go in to explain what a photograph is, because otherwise they're not going to understand. Like, imagine if, you just take somebody from, like, the Middle Ages, and then you show them a photograph of, like, Scarlett Johansson, be like, what is this witch? What is this magic? It's too detailed. It's like, no, this is a photograph. What it is, it's, you take the light from a specific scenario, and then it gets captured on the back of a specific type of paper, and then boom, photograph. So he goes on to explain on the back of this photo that I come from a world or a land where humans are not, like, they don't live behind walls, or they're not scared for their lives, being afraid of being devoured by titans. I come from a land where humans actually prosper, and we're living in absolute luxury, essentially. In other words, if you haven't figured it out by now, humans are not extinct outside the walls. The exact opposite. There's like a huge freaking society outside the walls. So the basic general premise around this is the Attack on Titan world is our Earth to an extent, but that can't be the case, of course, because it's, Titans are a thing. So it's not our Earth, but it's very similar. Now, this is actually something that I had to bring up a while back, because you look at one look at the Attack on Titan world, and it's like, okay, you're kind of going for like Middle Ages sort of thing here, just based on like the layout, like how the houses work, and you have like castles and shit, very Middle Age. But then you also have like pressurized gas canisters and the 3D gear and all this really advanced somewhat technology, like, and so at that point it's like there's something else going on here behind the scenes. Like, so they have the technology that, to like grappling hooks and shit, but they don't quite have access to like photographs and stuff. So if nothing, the world Grisha comes from, it's like 1920s era Earth, or very similar to that kind of area. Maybe a little bit before that, maybe a little bit after, but in and around, the early 20th century. But that's not the interesting part. The interesting thing is here of Grisha's past itself. Because let's think about this. He was found beyond the wall, just kind of like wandering around aimlessly. He had amnesia, and all he could remember is like, I can remember I'm a doctor, and that's it. So, yeah, it makes you wonder, like, okay, he clearly remembered where he's from because he put it in the book, right? So, did he just he either pretended the whole amnesia thing, but I don't think that's the case. He might have, more than likely, he had it, and then he ended up there, and there's still swaths of this we don't know, but then he recovered his memory at some point, did not tell his wife, did not tell his children, and just decided, like, okay, this is the situation. For one reason or another, I have to keep this secret. And he just chronicled it all in his journals. Maybe he didn't expect Aaron specifically to find it, but he expected someone to find it. And he's like, I gotta keep, in case something happens to me, I gotta keep track of this. I gotta make sure everything is recorded properly. And this, which he went to such lengths to make sure that it was protected and hidden away. But, yeah, the point is, it's not just like there's human civilization beyond the walls, it's that human civilization is prospering beyond the walls. So, something's going on here, something else is going on. If I didn't just read The Promised Neverland, I would say, hey, maybe the walls are like some sort of like human farm for the Titans, but Promised Neverland is a thing, so I just want to disregard that theory, because I don't want to seem like I'm breaking off from that. But yeah, I'm starting to really get back into Attack on Titan now. I've been reading the past, probably about the past 10 chapters I've been following, just because I knew they were heading back to Shiganshina, and I knew that they were getting finally on this, like, this basement arc. They were getting on, like, finally trying to figure out what's in there. So I've been following it for maybe the better part of, like, a year. But, yeah, I am really going to start following now. I'm going to get back, because there's a good chunk of it I don't know. In fact, I apologize in advance. Well, I guess not, wouldn't be in advance if there's anything I brought up so far that has already been explained. Like, like, I know Grisha's a Titan. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right, to be honest with you. But I know Grisha's a Titan, but I don't really know the full thing with that. But, yeah, I wanted to make this video just to get it out there, like, in case you were just kind of casually following Attack on Titan, waiting to find out what's in the basement. that's what's in the basement. So now you can choose to take the road. Are you going to get back into the series, or are you just going to be like, oh, okay, that's whatever. I was expecting it to be something else about the Titan shifters or whatever. It's shit. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to be interested in it now. But yeah, what do you guys think about this turn of events? What do you think about the revelation that humans are now prospering? What's going to happen now? Is there going to be like a big journey? Like, are they going to try to like figure out, because they don't really tell anyone what happened. The team goes back to the inner wall and I guess they make their reports, but it's pretty ambiguous whether or not they share that information with everybody at large, because I don't think that would be a good idea at the moment. Like that seems like the kind of thing you would get your fucking you get your like throat slit in your sleep. By the way, guys, it turns out that there's an entire society of humans that are living in complete luxury while we're being sequestered away in these walls, being preyed on by giant monsters that want to eat us. Isn't that crazy that that's like the reality we live in? We've basically been living a lie for centuries. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I don't think they would take that too well. I think there'd be a lot of people that would want to kill you after that. But, you know, there's still a lot of mysteries, like the Titans in the wall, for example. This is, of course, all going to tie back together in some way. Maybe the Titans are some mutated form of humans that they, like the humans in the more technological advanced society, created. You know, maybe the Titans that we know of that are the most rampant are like Titan shifters that went insane or something, or messed up botched experimentation. I don't know where this shit's going. But, yeah, there you go. Secret to his basement. Take that knowledge and do what you will. I have fulfilled my my duty as a spoiler revealer guy, theorizer. So yeah, thanks for watching. Comment below, like, share, subscribe, all that good shit. I don't know if I'm gonna start talking about Attack on Titan regularly. This is like in the past 3 years, this is only the second video I've made about it. But hey, who knows? We might go more from there. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Signing out.